Hi everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today we're going to take a look at the 2024 Honda CR-V Hybrid Sport. And we're going to give you the information to answer the question, is this the best hybrid crossover SUV? It definitely has a lot going for it in a multitude of ways, fully redesigned for the 2023 model year. Obviously, that's going to carry over here into 2024. That should not come as a surprise to anybody, I hope. But that's just the way it goes. Not a bad thing. The exterior color on this model is lunar silver. It has a black interior. And if you're interested in maybe coming to Holmes Honda and buying this model or anything else they have in inventory here, check out the link down in the description of the video. As far as safety features go, you will find Honda Sensing here, which is going to be adaptive cruise control, road departure mitigation braking, lane keeping assist, and traffic jam assist. All of that is going to be there. Lighting all over the vehicle, well, it's LED everywhere you look. LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, and you're going to have LED taillights as well. And that flickering effect you see right there, it would be kind of cool if that was really happening, but that's happening through the view from the lens of my GoPro. It's a common thing you see a lot of times here on YouTube. I don't know that everybody explains that, but in case you were wondering, no, that isn't really happening. And you will find a nice combination of gloss black with the upper grille. I'm going to have that Honda logo there in the center. And then, well, a little bit of gloss black here on the lower grille area, the front bumper, I should say, really more than the lower grille, but the lower grille there in the middle is more of a matte black finish. And this model is front-wheel drive, but you can go and option in all-wheel drive if you desire to. Let's talk a little bit about tire and wheel size. The width is going to be 235. You're going to have a 60 series sidewall, this area right here, and obviously you know what the rim is. That is an 18-inch gloss black rim. So if you ever see those numbers on the side of the tire and you're wondering what exactly does that mean, well, now you know. And the side view mirrors, gloss black mirror caps, turn signal indicators built in. They're manually folding but power adjustable, and they're heated as well. You also have blind spot monitoring right there. When it comes to gaining access into the vehicle and locking it, all that good stuff, here is your remote for 2024. No changes from 2023, but you can see what all is here, including remote start. It's a proximity key and does have the walkaway features. You will also have the roof rails, maybe I should say walkaway feature, not features. How many walkaway features do you need? Just one. You have the roof rails there. I thought I'd correct myself before somebody said anything, but you can still laugh at me. The body colored shark fin antenna. And we finish things off here at the end of the roof, here on the rear at least, with the rear roof spoiler. That not only gives it a nice look back here, a nice finish, it just wouldn't look the same if that wasn't there, but air actually flows off of this and over this rear window. That helps to keep it clean when you're in motion. But when it's not in motion and the rear window gets dirty, or when it's raining, obviously you have the rear window wiper here, and also the LED tail lights to finish things off. You're going to have the Sport logo down there and your CR-V Hybrid logo as well. Under the hood, you'll find the hybrid powertrain. That's going to be a combination of the naturally aspirated 2-liter 4-cylinder and the dual electric motors that make this system up, mated to an eCVT. And all of that together makes 204 horsepower, 247 pounds-feet of torque. And if you're on the fence and saying, do I want a full EV or do I want a hybrid? Well, the main thing to consider here is that with an EV, you're reliant on battery only. In this case, with a hybrid, even though this isn't a plug-in hybrid, which I think is really even better to just have this style right here, as long as you have gas in the gas tank, you're never going to have any trouble whatsoever. Because when the charge capacity gets to a certain point, the gas engine will kick on and you can keep driving down the road or sitting in traffic without getting super nervous because the charge capacity on your EV is really low and you don't know how long you're going to be stuck. How about MPGs? 43 city, 36 highway, 40 combined. 2.5 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. That is likely going to come in just certain conditions, and I don't know what those are, but that's what's on the sticker. So that's what you're going to get here as far as what the model says you should have. So I'm going to tell you about it. And if you're curious, how much gas can you fill your gas tank with? This is a 14-gallon gas tank. And if you're wondering about why these numbers are reversed compared to what you normally see on MPGs, typically city is lower than highway. Well, at higher speeds, you're going to be using the 2-liter gas engine, so you're going to use a little more fuel. Fuel economy won't be quite as high, but still not bad. And one thing here, at least from my standpoint in the automotive journalism world, I like the fact that you have the struts right here to help open and keep the hood up. Kind of surprised we haven't seen this on more Honda vehicles for 2023 and 2024, but I know for the average person that doesn't mean a lot. You're not really worried about whether the struts are here or you have the manual prop rod. Just one of my observations. Towing capacity for the hybrid version of the CR-V is 1,000 pounds max. I've had some people that have said, no, it's 1,500 pounds. Do your research before you give that answer down in the comments section. The difference is that the non-hybrid version of the CR-V is what tows 1,500 pounds. And cargo capacity, 34.7 cubic feet, up to 39.3, up to 76.5. Now you will notice a difference because of the fact that, again, this is the hybrid version with this model, and I'm going to have to make some changes before I can show you what it looks like with the cargo capacity maximized. And there is how everything looks with the seats folded down. I know everybody likes to see everything maximized just to see how it looks. You do have a little bit of storage space on each side behind the fender wells. You also have cargo lighting on each side. There is a handy dandy 12-volt power outlet right here. And one thing just to tell you what's here and what's not, the one thing that's missing is a spare tire, and that's because there isn't room for a spare tire on the hybrid version of these CR-Vs. You do have a tire repair kit. Just so you know what's here, I know a lot of people look at that and say, that really kind of bothers me a little bit. And as far as your rear seat passengers go, they're going to find comfortable armrests, and you can see the contrast stitching right here. Large door bins for a hybrid crossover, I'd say that's a pretty good size. And if somebody ever forgets about what vehicle they're riding in and they say, I forgot what we're riding in, tell me again, just tell them to look right down here on the door because it says CR-V right there. Now they might fall asleep back here because they can recline the seats. That's a good thing. You can see that I have the left side here reclined and the other side is in the normal seating position. Cup holders built into the center, or the center armrest, not console, almost said console, center armrest. And I like the fact that Honda has designed these this way. I'd really like to see this in more vehicles because of the positioning of the cup holders. You can have a cup or bottle in each one, and your rear seat passengers can still use this area as an armrest. And as far as cargo capacity goes back here in this rear area, you do have the rear seat storage pocket on the passenger side. But I think the main thing that you're going to be happy about here is the rear seat passengers have air conditioning vents and a couple of USB options. Also, a sunroof. Here it is conventional size as opposed to panoramic, but that's what's here. Would you like to see a panoramic sunroof on the CR-V at some point in the future? If you're curious about the sticker price on this particular model, $34,675 is the price, but Holmes Honda did add a few features, and those options include Auto Butler, which is basically paint protection. You will also find wheel locks on the wheels, which is going to be this lug nut right here. There's actually a wheel lock key that is in the glove box. You will also find splash guards. And you saw the trunk tray, is what it's called at least. I'll open this one more time just to show you. That's what this is. We'll also find window tint. And all of those additions will take the price to $37,469. And if you're saying to yourself, well, I really don't want all of that, how about just going with that base price that was on the sticker? If you want to do that, the best thing you can do is to order your vehicle online. You can come into the dealership and do that, whatever the case is. But that's just a common thing that some of the dealerships do. I'm just showing you what's here, so don't go after the messenger. I'm just telling you what's here. Well, let's finish that up, by the way. Here with the front doors, a larger door bin, larger armrests. I like how you can see the fact that with the black interior, you have the orange contrast stitching. The armrests are comfortable. And in this case, you will find a power adjustable driver's seat, but manually adjustable passenger seat. And we'll take a quick look across the dashboard here. There's your 7-inch touchscreen, a very simple screen to use. You have the 7-inch or the optional 9-inch. Here is where you're going to find the wheel lock key if you need that. And plenty of room within the glove box. You will also find more USB connectivity here, 2 options to be exact, and a 12-volt power outlet, a little bit of space up here, and a conventional style shifter, something that will make a lot of people happy. Drive mode selector, hill start assist, your power parking brake and brake hold mode, a little bit more of that contrast stitching on the shifter boot, as well as your drink holders and a little bit of space in front of the center console, which, by the way, well, it seems like it's in a pretty good place. You can raise and lower the seats accordingly to be able to take advantage of that as an armrest, so that option is there. And there's a lot of space within the center console for more storage. And I'll show you what all is here with the upper console as far as the controls and everything that you have. You do have a sunglass holder here, by the way. That's something I seem to be seeing less and less of in a lot of vehicles these days. And here on the driver's side door, you're going to find all the controls and switches that you would expect to find. Traction control can be turned off or back on right here. You can drop this lever to adjust the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. Obviously, you're going to have push button start right here. And the nice, clean, and modern looking digital instrument display for the driver, the driver's display, everything you'd expect to see up there. And there's a lot of other things you might want to see. If you push the home button right here, in fact, I'll try and show this to you. Push that, you can see a couple of different things. And if you want to go through different information, you can scroll through using the scroll wheel right here. And then when you get somewhere where you want to select something, for example, let's just get down here. We'll select right here. I'm just going to push on that. And there you go. You can see what's going on, the power flow meter, if you want to have that right there. And then your steering wheel mounted controls, as you can see, will also control your headlights right here and your turn signals or blinkers. I know not everybody has that option on their vehicle, so some of you don't worry about that. It's okay. Yes, you can laugh. It's all right. I like to make fun of people who don't use their blinkers. And you do use your windshield wipers, however, when it rains, unless you have Rain-X on your windshield. Then you don't. But anyway, can't say anything sarcastic about the lever right there to control the windshield wipers, the front windshield wipers. Well, there's only one windshield on the front, and the rear window wipers. Okay, let's get that corrected. And we have the 7-inch screen. You already know why you're seeing the flickering there, not really happening. But if you're that person who's saying, you know what, I have no choice, I have to buy a new vehicle, but I don't want to be overloaded with technology, this 7-inch touchscreen is a good place to start. Even though if you went with a 9-inch screen in other models of the CR-V, guess what? It's just as easy to learn and use. It just looks different. It may look more complicated, but it really isn't. No big deal. But you can see what's here. You can pair your phone. Now, this isn't done wirelessly on this particular model, but on the 9-inch, it is. And here is your multi-view rear view camera. For those who don't know, if you were going to say, well, does the vehicle have a rear view camera? As of 2020, it was required actually by law in the United States, at least, that all vehicles have a backup camera, a rear view camera. So you're not going to find anything that doesn't have that. Now, most car makers were way ahead of that. And you have heated seats. We absolutely don't need that today. We're going to be in the mid to high 90s again. Finally going to cool down into the low 80s next week. Whew, that's going to be a cold front for Louisiana. Dual zone climate control, you can see what you have here. You can sync the two sides together or whatever you want to do with that since you have the two different zones. And last but not least in this area of the vehicle, let's go through our driving modes right here. So I'm going to start with normal. I'll show you what the graphics look like that come up with each driving mode. We will now go into Econ, and you're going to have snow mode as well. If you drive in a lot of snow, you probably want all-wheel drive. And last but not least, you have sport mode right there. And one question that I know sometimes people have, let's say when you turn the ignition off, what does the vehicle do? Does it go back into normal mode? The answer to that question is yes, it does. Okay, we're out on the road for our test drive with the CR-V. So what is it like to drive? Well, it has a nice, comfortable ride quality, which is not really anything new for the CR-V, but it does seem like it rides a little better than the previous generation. So I definitely have to give the thumbs up there. And while you have cloth seating here, I know people have their varying opinions on that. I've even had people tell me that it's outdated. I don't know that that's the case, but that's what you have in this case. It's still very comfortable. Obviously, you can adjust the driver's seat. You can adjust the passenger seat as well. It's just not power adjustable. And you know what your rear seat passengers can do as well to adjust things to get comfortable or even take a nap. They can do that. And the good thing about a crossover SUV like this is that it's going to have a nice tight turning radius, very easy to get around, to maneuver around and get wherever you need to go with it. And it definitely will get up and go when you need it to get up and go. It's not meant to be anything that's high performance, but at the same time, it has what it needs. That's probably the best way to put it. I think it definitely gets up to speed without any trouble. You're not looking for or necessarily expecting neck snapping performance, although it would be interesting to have a CR-V Type R. Likely never going to happen, but hey, we can talk about it, can't we? And as far as interior space goes, you definitely have plenty of that, especially here in the front. Now, I haven't had the chance to ride in the back seat when someone else is driving and see what that experience is like, so I can't really tell you about that. But I know for a fact, for those who might say, well, how tall of a person can fit in the front seats? Well over 6 feet. In fact, it seems like I remember a comment from somebody that said they knew somebody, or maybe it was they themselves, that were 6'3", having no trouble adjusting the seat to be able to fit into the driver's seat here. Comfortable steering wheel, controls are easy to get to, and guess what? You know what? Even though we see some vehicles that are going away from functionality such as buttons and switches for the air conditioning and other functions as well, it's nice to see that that is still here with the CR-V. I expect that to be the case for a long time to come. But even at that, like I said earlier in the video, the technology here is not complicated. It is not difficult to learn or use. So don't let that scare you off. And there are options here. If you say to yourself, well, I really want that 9-inch, well, then you can go with that. The 9-inch screen, it's just as easy to learn and use as the 7-inch is right here. It's just a different appearance. Don't let that scare you off either, I promise. They're both very simplistic, very easy to use, but have a nice modern look, especially that 9-inch. I really favor that personally over the 7-inch, but overall, a really nice vehicle. The CR-V has obviously been popular for a really long time, and well, it seems that it still is, based on what a lot of you are saying in the comments about these vehicles when I show you what they have. But I'm curious to know, when Honda redesigned the CR-V, was there anything they did not do that you were hoping they would? So tell me what you think down in the comments section. Is the 2024 hybrid CR-V Sport the best hybrid crossover SUV? I'm always curious to know what you think about that because, well, if you're watching this video, there's a good chance you either own one of these, whether it's a 23 or a 24, or you're considering buying one and you want to know about it. So curious to know what your opinion is. What are the things you look for if you're planning to buy a new crossover SUV, a hybrid crossover? Tell me about that. I'm curious to know. I do want to say a special thanks to my friends here at Holmes Honda for loaning me this model for the day. Don't forget you can check out the link in the description of the video if you want to know more about this model or anything else for sale here at Holmes Honda in Shreveport, Louisiana. And a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and haven't subscribed to the Vehicle Visionary YouTube channel just yet, please consider doing so you can see future videos. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.